From Group A, Tutorial L3, we would like to present about the approach used by each of the above figures in management. So for this slide, it's about the introduction. So first, there are many approaches used in management system. Each organization uses a different approach in running their organization according to their respective suitability. In an organization, management is very important because the organization will be more organized and systematic. When the management system is organized, it can help the organization to achieve goal and objective and be able to use available resources effectively. It also can maintain the responsibility and order because we work as a one team to achieve the same goal. Everyone in the organization must play their respective roles so as not to affect the performance of an organization. However, we will see some figures getting involved by introducing approach in management system. The figures are Frederick Winslow Taylor, Henry Fayol, Mary Parker, and Max Weber. All these figures have their own opinions.
So for Frederick Winslow Taylor. Frederick Taylor is called the father of scientific management. Taylor's philosophy focused on the belief that making people work as hard as they could be not as efficient as optimizing the way the work was done. In 1909, Taylor published a book entitled The Principle of Scientific Management, which contains some of his opinions, showing that productivity would increase if jobs were optimized and simplified. With a background in mechanical engineering, Taylor is very interested in efficiency. He used scientific methods to study the optimal way to perform any type of task in the workplace. Taking what he learned from experiments in this workplace, Taylor has developed 4 principles of scientific management. In my opinion, the principle of scientific management can be applied in the workplace by having to follow established procedure, and it is to maintain the purpose of the company. Among the steps is to analyze the work process. This can help determine the most effective method for completing a task by experimenting with several different methods to find out which method requires the least time and step to complete. Furthermore, different and task representation. Instead of assigning one employer to perform many tasks, manager can decipher complex project by assigning employees to one specific task. Next, use employer skill and provide incentive. Company manager should strive to identify employer skill and assign employees the task that best suit their talent. Last but not least, form a professional hierarchy. This to ensure that each employer understands what is expected of them. Today, the latest version of the original theory is used by companies like Amazon. Digital tailoring is based on maximizing efficiency by standardizing technological tools and techniques to complete each task involved with a particular job. Since everyone operates in the same mechanistic way, it improves production and consistency while reducing error. It is relatively easy for managers to replace employees and maintain the same productivity. The advantage of scientific management theory is enhanced production. Scientific management theory is responsible for increasing production because it focuses on continuous improvement in business operation. Next, it allows production costs to be reduced. Mechanization and use of the latest technology in the production of could increase productivity. As there is an increase in large-scale production, there is a decrease per unit of production cost. Next, for the disadvantage of scientific management theory, it requires substantial capital. The theory requires a large capital investment and consider it an expensive system. The next disadvantage is mechanistic. This theory follows a specific approach for organization and employer to control employees. The theory makes work mechanistic and treat workers like machines. In scientific management, there is one right way to perform a task, such as employees are not encouraged to make decisions or evaluate action that may yield better results. Scientific management is becoming increasingly popular among large business as productivity increases, proving that it is successful. Mary Parker Follett. Mary Parker Follett, or mother of modern management, believed that management is the art of getting things done through people. Follett's educational and occupational background which shaped and influenced her future theory and writing. The next stage, a second writing published in 1918, was involved from a report into her second published work. This publication will continue to lay the foundational theory for her most important theories and be the main focus of her career. She was aware of the holistic nature of community and developed the idea of recurrent relationship in understanding the dynamic aspect of the individual in relationship with others. Follett advocated the principle of what she called integration, or sharing of power without coercion, based on the use of her concept of power and not power. Power and authority are the two main concepts in management. Usually, people only focus on the division of power or how to achieve power. Although she has never managed a non-profit enterprise, she provides valuable insight into the importance of empowering rather than utility with employers to resolve a conflict. In my opinion, the approach from Mary Parker Follett is very helpful into the content, because the content is her approach to how to handle management well. For example, in integration, Follett argued that employees from all levels should integrate to achieve organizational goals. Next, in handling management need to have power which, adding that creating a straight hierarchy and giving power to certain individuals over others. Follett believed that employees should practice shared strength. Last but not least, group strength. Group strength should be valued over personal strength. To eliminate power over, Follett recommends using the integration to resolve the conflict. She also noted that managers should seek the authority or law of the situation and the consolidation of interests. Collaboration and what Follett called functional utility will make this feeling disappear. The organization does not exist for the benefit of one person, but of the entire employer. The advantage of the approach from Mary Parker Follett in conflict management is that it makes all parties involved in the dispute full, valued and understood. When everyone in a dispute experiences their total concern, it can foster understanding and mutual respect. Another advantage is that it sets the tone for future conflict resolution and gives those in charge a shared responsibility for resolving a problem. Next, for the disadvantage is requiring a lot of time, energy and effort to reach a solution. The reason is that because the desired outcome is a win-win, a moderator must research several solutions before reaching a compromise. Another disadvantage is that there may be no solution that provides victory for all parties involved, and if all parties do not compromise. On the issue of authority, Follett pointed out that ownership or simply having a certain position does not give top management authority. Real power which people obey comes from function and experience. She concluded her thinking in this way that the person giving the order should try to bring those who are ordering into the situation.
Harry Jane or Harry Lawrence Jane, he has made an innovation of worldwide importance in 1920 and accepted as a commonplace project management. He also a promoter of scientific of management and he aptitude for problem solving, technical problems in scientific management. Regent also made administrative approach to management like task and bonus system, a bonus in addition to his regular day rate and increase their efficient production often more than double. Second is foreman bonus. If all the worker require standard, worker wages will pay if the task complete in the time of life. Give a reward to foreman for teaching worker to improve the way they work. Help to convert the foreman from overseas and driving workers to help and teach a subordinates to get a quality as well as the quantity work. Thirdly, the chart of function for recording the progress of worker toward the task stand. It is easy to see how well work progress of worker and to be applied to all mind of project. To see how it illustrates scheduling the best achieved, its obligation to community profit toward a society welfare. Approve into the context is for the interpersonal behavior approach. It involves the management teams to people and it concentrates on human aspect. In this approach, he believes people should understand one another when they work together to accomplish the objective. It like applies psychology in management. So, for this approach, it is important to the leadership, give a motivation and influence work environment. It can be applied in the group behavior. It's concerned about behavior among individuals. In the group, they have common feeling and attitude, so they will form an informal organization. It is important to get a cooperation and positive interaction among a group so that the workflow will be smooth. Next is optional approach. In this management is regard toward a process, solve a problem or something through the planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling. But in this context, it involved with human resource and material resource coordination. Management is also approached into the context. In this approach, enterprise regarded as a system which consists of related and independent elements forming a unity of whole. As we know, every system has their own subsystem and is same like organization. All departments will be handled or coordinated by the top manager. Nowadays, IT is very popular and every manager using information technology. IT is very important and at the same time it can trigger cost reduction and profit maximization besides increasing service efficiently. A related example by approach is management the construction project plan. Another company that uses the modern approach is Toyota. It uses modern approach where small quantity of raw material are kept at each station production. It can accurate forecasting to stock raw material at the correct level. Another successful company using principal approach is Apple. Apple using a warehouse and be supplied for worldwide and has strong strategic relationship with vendor. National Petroleum Industry Environment Conservation Association use approach scientific analysis by focusing on rising awareness of human gift. Lastly, Coca-Cola Company use an operational approach in manage her company because they believe the leadership quality can be learned over a period of time. Thus, the CEO of Coca-Cola Company ensure that the employee will give a chance to learn and develop that leadership skill monitoring the improvement. Of the theory is increase their ability toward the environment change. Second, focus on individual achievement and also the overall goal of the organization and give an attention in decision making until don't have specific domain to get preferential treatment. Every advantage must have a disadvantage. It is not always practical until it will lead to a delay in decision making because need to be approved by all sides. Secondly, people will not the same decision will come a problem natural interdependence is not defined. Thirdly, is not applicable to smaller organizations. The conclusion of management is come a different change in organization. It runs smooth and is more orderly, so it will provide success for the company. It also gives a big chance to the company if practicing it like Apple, Coca-Cola Company, Toyota, and etc.
So next, Max Weber, who was born in Germany on April 21st, 1864. He is a German sociologist and political economist. He studied law at University of Heidelberg. He is a famous audiobook, and it can prove by all of his books, which are General Economic History, The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism, Sociology of Religion, and more. Max Weber introduced the theory of bureaucracy in the system of general administration, and according to Max Weber, bureaucracy is the most efficient in managing an organization. It is because it can make an organization more organized and systematic. We can define bureaucracy as a system for controlling and manage a company, an organization, or country. According to Max Weber, he has looked the concept of bureaucracy from many aspects, and of course it is more rational and efficient in organization. Max Weber also declared bureaucracy is a social structure that has a hierarchy, rules and status set by rules, explicit procedure based on a division of functions and authority. There are three types of authorities, which are traditional, legal, rational, and charismatic. Max Weber has introduced the principles and character of bureaucracy in managing an organization effectively. The first principle is hierarchical management structure. It is the multiple layers of hierarchical will show the difference of positions from the top to the lowest. The second one is division of labor. Every each of employees do the task based on their skills. Number 3, formal selection process, which is every each of employees should be selected according to the skills through the experience, training, and education. Number 4, career information. Max Weber concluded that we need to choose the employees based on their skills to make sure the organization will run smoothly and they in right position. Number 5, formal rules. So it is important in organization to make sure the uniformity among employees. With rules, an organization can achieve uniformity and objective in the long run. And lastly is impersonality. Impersonality means to not mix personal problems with problems in an organization. When making decisions, do not involve personal problems, feelings, and personal emotions. So for me, bureaucracy is one of the relatively systematic system because we get to know the real position in an organization. Not only that, we are also able to do a job efficiently and quickly because we are in the right position. We don't need to try something that is really not from our field because it is quite difficult. It can also cause everyone to carry out their assigned responsibilities well because they need to maintain their credibility, and for those in a high position must ensure and control his subordinates to their job well. So we can see the bureaucracy in the education administration system in Malaysia, where the Minister of Education is in the highest position and followed by the State Director, PPD, principals and teachers. Each of them plays a different role according to their position. So the Minister of Education has a role in producing people who are faithful, virtuous, knowledgeable, skilled, and prosperous also to providing educational opportunities to all Malaysian citizens. For state director, they need to control the textbook requirements applied by school, plan the implementation and management of SPBT at the state level, and more. Next, the PPT is to help handle the discipline matters of teachers and non-teaching staff, responsible for outlining the school administration policy at the district level, and so on. Next, the principal should make sure the prestation of curriculum and co-curriculum is in line with the policy of the Ministry of Education. And the last one is teacher. Teacher will teach the subject matter to the students according to their respective field. So we can see bureaucracy more systematic because we will know the rules and ensure the work is to be completed. For the next slide, we will look about the advantages and disadvantages. So the advantages of bureaucracy are there is specialization and expertise in a job because each employee will be divided according to the skills they have. The work they do will be quick and easier as they are not distracted by any problems involved skills. Next, the second one is they will be able to train them to have a responsible attitude because each of them has their respective roles and functions in an organization. So they can also make more rational decisions so as not to affect the organization. Despite being of that, there are also disadvantages of bureaucratic system where it will oppression of subordinate employees can occur. So this is because the higher authority has the power to direct his employees to do anything. So this happens when they abuse the powers they have to do whatever they want. Other than that, employees will not be able to communicate with higher authority because they are in different positions. So they only have the opportunity to report any problems to the leader of their departments only. The next speaker is Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol was born on July 29, 1841. He was a French engineer and one of the figures who created a theory related to public administration in management. In administrative theory, he has divided into three parts, namely technical skills with management skill, management function, and management principle. So there are 6 types of groups in technical skill and management skill, which are technical, commercial, financial, security, accounting, and management. The management function is planning, organizing, directing, coordinating, and controlling, while there are 40 management principles. So we will go through to the principle of management. The first principle of management is division of labor. Each employee will be divided into small divisions where they are skilled and expert in their department. So they will not feel burdened to do work that is not from their department, and it can reduce the risk in an organization. Next, authority means their managers have the right to give direction and make decisions in the organization. They should also be responsible for their work so that it can be completed on time. And of course, each employee must follow the instruction issued by the respective leader. But the leader must not abuse the authority. Number 3, discipline. Discipline is the behavior of an employee to comply with all rules and laws set by the organization. Discipline is very important because it can make a person more productive and efficient in doing work. It can also reduce the risk in dealing with lazy or unproductive employees. Number 4, unity of command means employees will have only one boss for each department and only follow instruction from their leader. Number 5 is unity of direction. It means each of the departments has a leader who can focus on the objectives that need to be achieved. also encouraged to safeguard the interest of the organization rather than the interest of personal or individual affairs. Always focus on the objective of the organization to be achieved. Number 7, for remuneration, each employee should be given a wage or reward for each job they do, and it should be commensurate with the result of their work. It can be in the form of money such as salary or non-money such as holiday voucher and others. By doing that, employees will be more motivated to complete their job. And performance in an organization will also increase as employees do their job efficiently, productive, and can maximize employee satisfaction. Number 8, centralization refers to every decision made should be balanced and appropriate to the organization. It also depends on the size of the organization, whether it is large or small, as to have different centralization. Usually, higher position will make decision. Then, share and ask the opinion of subordinate on the decision that has been made. The next principle is Scala chain. It will show a structure from the top to the bottom in an organization. Each of them has different roles and responsibility according to their position. Other than that, Henry Fayol stated that each of the human resources and materials must be arranged accurately and used efficiently and effectively so that there is no waste of resources. In organization, equity is important to be fair to all employees so that they do not feel marginal. So if services are provided equally, there will be no problems and workers will feel more motivated. Management in an organization must also be stable so that the organization is not affected, and the higher position must also ensure the safety of each of their employees. Next, initiative, which is employees are given the opportunity to provide new ideas or opinion for an organization. With this, employees can last longer in the organization and encourage them to thinking out. Lastly, esprit de corps means the leader plays a role in creating harmony among the employees so that there are no fight and unity can be maintained. So, in my opinion, the 40 management principle really helps an organization operate. We only refer to this principle so that the organization can be well controlled and be able to overcome any problems that exist. It also takes great care of the welfare of the employees and conserve a fair attitude for everyone. Not only that, it can also train ourselves to always be responsible in every job we do and never neglect subordinate employees.
Example of this principle is automobile company who is manufacturing two products, namely scooter and car, has having two divisions. Every division must have their own target. Unity command means is have only one manager to give an instruction to their employee and having a same objective with their team to exchange the efficiency of employee. The company who use Henry Fayol theory in company McDonald's or Domino's who apply the principle of equity. The principle has been followed by every organization and each aspect of their work, because having discipline or organization will make organizations survive in competitive world. Advantage by using this principle is we can keep our finance in good shape. We should organize all areas of company, including finance department. Besides that, it will help to increase the productivity by identifying process error and correcting them. Advantage is it can help miss a goal. To achieve the goal, focus must to creating and implementing more efficient process which guarantee that goal will be achieved.
For the disadvantages for this principle, the first one is this theory focus only on problems or issues related to the organization only, and for employee problems, they are given less attention. Number 2, does not focus on some aspects such as controlling, motivating employees, and leading. So employee welfare will be neglected. So I think that's all from us. Thank you.